Does he stay in for the whole thing? Because he puts me off. Oh, God.
Disgraceful human.
Kill them all.
Good afternoon, guys, and welcome back to another Q&A where you have asked the questions and we will have the answers. However, this week, as Paddy is away, I'm joined by Ian from our Onefootball newsroom, who coincidentally hosts our weekly podcast, of which I actually feature this week and various other weeks. So make sure you go and listen to that on SoundCloud, iTunes, or wherever you go for your podcasting. But as for now, we will get straight into the video with the first question from Sumya Deep, who has said, can Real Madrid win their 4th straight Champions League?
Oh, God. They're going to, aren't they?
You don't want them to, do you?
No, I don't want them to. They've won so many, but it really sticks in my craw, but they're going to do it.
I'm not so sure.
But they're coming, so they've been rubbish. This is typical Madrid. They're rubbish for the start of the season. All of a sudden, January comes around and bang, they're right into great form.
I just think minus Ronaldo.
He did score a lot of key goals for them.
Yeah, this is the thing. Key moments, key games.
But with Vinicius in there?
Yeah, true. He's not quite Ronaldo's level.
He's not quite Ronaldo. No, he's not. Okay, for you.
Yes.
Hussein Patel asks, can and how will Manchester United turn it around in the second leg against PSG?
Short answer, no. No, they can't. I mean, they could try. I can't see it happening. I can't see. They may have a good game. Liverpool did okay in stages early in the season. They still lost 2-1. United could have a good game, but they're not going to win 3-0 at PSG.
No, it's not happening.
Yeah,
no, it's not
I think we can safely say it. Apologies to Hussein. Sayendip Banik, though, said that Tottenham have bossed the first leg for the round of 16. Yes, they did. Seriously, do you think they're going to bottle it in the next leg and get eliminated like Spurs always do?
No. This is the least Spursy of all the Spurs teams that have ever Spursed.
That is the best explanation I've
right?
heard.
But seriously, they've Pochettino has actually made them into a proper, mentally strong, fit, creative, excellent side.
Yeah.
And Dortmund are on a downward curve in the Bundesliga. They've been knocked out of the cup as well. They look tired, mentally weak at the moment. What is it, 3-0 from the first leg?
I can't see it happening, and that's just not because I'm rooting for Spurs. I just generally can't see it happening. However, I will say bottling it is now become a phrase when Tottenham lose. Even if they weren't ahead, that's
quite the turnaround.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Okay.
So, I mean, if Spurs lose and it's a bottle job, then every single team that loses effectively has bottled it. Except for the winners of the Champions League. So I'm not quite sure with bottling it, yes, with 3-0, but yeah, not every competition.
Okay, question for you then. Muntahim Mamun, and I hope I pronounced that right, has PSG any chance of winning the Champions League?
PSG any chance of winning the Champions League? I'm going to say yes because of what I saw against Manchester United and because of the talent that wasn't even on show without Cavani and Neymar. They don't have the know-how that clubs like Real Madrid do, but I think they're good enough.
See, for me, it depends on luck, and that sounds like a ridiculous answer, but when you think of when the draw comes, because they're into the next round, we both agree on that. If they manage to avoid a Real Madrid, they manage to avoid a Barcelona, who I think could psychologically weaken them, if they manage to avoid that, and then get somebody a little bit easier, no names actually come to mind.
No offense, but the winner of Porto-Roma has to be, for a big side, the best tie.
You could see if they get one of those, they'll beat them, no doubt. And then onto the semi-finals. I mean, I still think Madrid, like we said in the first question, will be the team to win it because they always do. But PSG, I wouldn't rule them out. And they'll have Neymar back by then.
Yeah, that's very true. Okay, so if you guys think that PSG are going to win it, hit the notification button. And if you think anyone else is going to do it, hit it just in case anyway. And let us know down below who your favourites are for the semi-final. Because to pinpoint one team is kind of difficult.
It is a little.
The semi-finalists, the 4 teams in the semi-final, smash the notification button and let us know. But I will move on with a question from RK. Thank you very much. Saying the FA Cup's this weekend, and I for one haven't been too interested in it for years. Has the competition lost its charm, and if so, why, and how to revamp it?
Oh, that's a question. I mean, it lost its charm around 1999 when Manchester United said, hey, we're more interested in playing in this rubbish Intercontinental Cup or whatever the hell it was. And so it sort of was devalued after that. I still think it has some charm to it. Wimbledon pulled off a pretty good upset over, who's it? West Ham.
West Ham, yeah.
Millwall pulled one over Everton in the last few rounds. Newport welcomed Manchester City this weekend, and it's quite nice to see the big boys go to these little small places and have to play, so that's still lovely. If you really want to revamp it, you could potentially give it a Champions League spot if you win it.
Yeah, true. However, a freakish win of a team that clearly isn't capable of competing in Champions League is quite...
Like a Portsmouth.
Yeah, when Portsmouth won it, or when Wigan won it and then got relegated 3 days later. Yeah. To ask them to go from Championship to Champions League in the space of a week, I just don't think it's doing the country's football any sort of justice.
A better thing to do, in my opinion, would be to scrap the League Cup. That seems an unnecessary competition.
Absolutely. Yeah. But I think the magic from it's definitely still alive in the lower leagues.
Yeah.
100%. For Newport this weekend, it's the most magical thing. But yeah, within the top teams, not so much. It's kind of disappointing to see.
Okay, one for you. From the Epic One, who asks, will Solskjaer get the Manchester United job on a permanent basis?
Yes. I think he will. And I've mentioned this before. He's managed to put himself... What's the opposite between in a rock and a hard place? When you've got no way out?
A warm spot?
Yeah.
No, I don't quite know.
A soft rock.
Yeah.
And a really soft place. He's got all the wins to back up his claim. And if he loses against PSG, he can say, I was drawn against PSG, it's difficult, it's not my Man United team, PSG are better. If he doesn't get into the top 4, he can say, hey, I was given a really difficult card by being so many points below. He's got the excuses on one hand, and he's got the good form, if it continues in the league, on the other hand, which makes it impossible to say no.
What? Really?
Yeah, I don't know what angle the United board have got for not giving it to him.
Well, I guess I would have gone for superstar nature. You go for somebody like a Pochettino.
Yeah, I think
who's the only other viable candidate, except for, say, Max Allegri.
Yeah, absolutely. However, when it comes to getting rid of Solskjaer, what do you tell him? You're not superstar enough.
Well, when he's come up against a really big team and been tested, he's been found wanting.
But what I'm saying is he can turn around and just say, this isn't my team.
Yeah, but you have to make do at some stage.
No, you're right.
Yeah. I don't know, but I do see your point that he has, as auditions go, he's doing pretty well. And it would be interesting to see. It might be that he's the least of the worst options.
Absolutely.
Along those lines. Yeah.
So for our next one from Owen Medine, and actually, loads of you asked this same question.
Oh God.
So we're answering every single one of you who sent this one in, but said, please go into depth about Icardi getting the captain's armband taken off him and what this means for his future at Inter Milan. He's been linked with a number of top clubs, including Real Madrid and Chelsea.
Right. This is complicated.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see if we can get it all in one go. So first of all, has a complicated relationship with the fans. This started after a poor performance, I think it was against Sassuolo, when he threw his jersey into the crowd and they threw it back at him, and he was like, what the hell are you doing? And was like pretty annoyed about them. Then he wrote, he became captain after that.
Yeah.
And he wrote an autobiography at whatever age he was, ridiculous, 24.
Oh, when he had to remove a chapter, didn't he?
But then he wrote this and criticized the fans and went like crazy at them, and that's not going to endear him to the fans either. So that makes things complicated. However, he's still scoring goals, he's still Inter's best player, so they sort of still have to love him. And in a way, even before that, Inter had been spoiled for a long time in terms of captains because they had Zanetti, who was just like the most beloved man ever on earth. Yeah. And like, perfect hair, nice smile, loyal to the club, all of that sort of jazz. Exactly, right? So he gets the captaincy, blah, 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 blah. And then he has his wife, Wanda, who is also his agent, working with that's crazy. Working relationship, that sort of thing. But she's regularly going on TV and radio throughout Italy criticizing Inter and what's going on at the club.
Is she trying to push through a transfer, basically?
Yeah, I would guess that seems to be the end point of it all. That they together think he's bigger than Inter, and that's got to the fans again, who are again pissed about this sort of thing. But it's also got to the players in the dressing room. if reports are to be believed, and they say, yeah, we don't want this anymore. This is too much with Wanda going out there and this going on. So it's complicated.
So where does he go then, if we're moving on?
Wow, I mean, that's a good question.
I'm going for Real Madrid.
They don't need him.
Really?
Yeah, well, maybe they could do with him. Yeah, I could see Juventus just snapping him up just for the hell of it, and just to weaken a rival. You know? They don't really
bully
need,
tactic.
Right, they don't really need him as well, but I could see them doing it.
Well,
I'd like to see him in the Premier League.
With Chelsea seems like
a pretty good destination for that.
Especially if Higuain doesn't hit the ground running.
Yeah, but it's a complicated one.
Yeah,
very,
absolutely.
very
But thank you to all you guys who mentioned it. It's probably worth its own video in some sort of near future.
Very much so. Okay, one for you from SKR23. Some quick transfer questions for you.
Yes.
Should we do a yes/no for this?
Yeah, let's make it snappy.
Okay, Rakitic to Bayern.
No.
Correct. Depay back to Man United.
Yes, I can see it.
Oh, that would be brilliant. I love his tattoos. Dibala to Real Madrid.
No.
Yeah, correct. You're probably correct on that one. Declan Rice.
To England?
To England. Oh, no. Declan Rice to Manchester City.
Yes, I can see that happening as well.
That would be a brilliant deal for them to go. Fernandinho getting older, not necessarily the player he was. Declan Rice is sensational.
Yeah. And
fits pretty well.
An English talent as of yesterday.
It's
no longer an Irish talent.
It's a pain through my heart.
Yeah, I can imagine. But
yep.
That single thing of switching over to English drives his price up by like 40 million just for being an English talent. Yeah. Next one up from Owen Manley says, opinion on the Aaron Ramsey contract.
I think it's brilliant. I think it's
for him or for Juve?
Well, definitely for him, because he's getting paid a shitload of money.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think, I could be wrong, but he's the best paid British player.
Yeah.
Ahead
of Gareth Bale by just a bit.
So that's pretty good for him. Juventus are getting him on a free, so that's pretty good for them. And I think it's great to see more British players go abroad and take a chance in Serie A. I'd love to see it a lot more. Yeah. Unfortunately, it doesn't happen enough. But yeah, very, very good. And it'll be great to see how he can, shine in that league. Okay, one for you. It is from Atam Tam, who says, should Sarri be sacked? We talked about this in the podcast.
Oh yeah, we did.
Should Sarri be sacked? And if so, who should replace him? I hope Lampard, who's off doing his thing at Derby, of course.
Well, not only did we talk about this in the podcast, I also made a video on it which came out on Wednesday.
Yes.
So make sure you guys go and check the 5 replacements to replace Sarri. There's a few kind of interesting names in there. I'm going to leave my opinion in that video, but for you, very quickly, just throw it back.
Can I say if he should be given more time?
You can say that.
Okay, I think he should be given more time. I think he should be given the proper replacements, the proper squad. If they were to sack him, well, you mentioned Simeone before.
Yeah, I did mention Simeone, and I've realised, I'm not sure I put him in the video because I don't think he's going to leave. That's the only issue.
No, perfect. I'll go with Simeone.
Yeah,
that seems like it'd be good fun.
He's a good one.
Yep.
Cool. Now we will move on very quickly to Heath, the one and only. What a name. What a fantastic name.
That is quite
for
good.
YouTube.
Yeah.
So the one and only Heath. Who will get relegated?
Do you want a quick fire or a long?
Yeah, let's quick fire because they're going to be the 3 worst teams in the league.
Huddersfield, Cardiff, and probably Fulham.
Oh yeah.
I like Fulham. Great club, lovely stadium, nice place to go have beers around that area.
Be tragic considering they made some big money signings and some decent players. Mitrovic, Sarri. To be fair, Cam Chambers is on loan.
Ryan Babel.
Oh, Ryan Babel. Even he can't get them out of the situation. It's next on for you actually.
Okay. It is Faraz Nasir Hussain. Why does Matt hate Man United? For no obvious reason at all.
Yeah,
Matt, why do you hate Man United?
I get a lot of comments saying, Matt, you hate Man United. No hate towards them. I'm actually quite indifferent about Man United. I like some of their players, don't like some of the other players. Yeah, no hate towards Man United. I think many people were commenting this because we covered Mourinho extensively at Manchester United and the debacle that he was going through. He was doing silly stuff. Man United were playing badly and they were losing. And I'm not quite sure how I can find the positive in that. If I was to find the positive in Man United, I'd sound like the die-hard fight to the end United fan, which I'm not. So yeah, no hatred towards Man United or any team, really.
Yeah, lack of hatred is probably a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't really care. They're not challenging anywhere near the top of the league, so they're not a threat.
Your Spurs are safe.
Yeah, exactly. Safe for now. But next for you from Tenzin Joma, who says, which team was better, Guardiola's Barcelona or Zidane's Real Madrid? What a question.
It's a very easy answer. It's quite obviously Pep's Barcelona. They played with a very particular philosophy in a very beautiful way and won lots and lots of competitions. Zidane, it felt like let's crowbar in a huge amount of superstars, and fair play to him for doing this because it's not an easy thing to do. Like, he got the personalities all working together, but it didn't feel like there was a very distinct philosophy to the whole thing. Whereas with Guardiola's, very much, you could see very much what they wanted to do, and they didn't let that defeat. Like, if somebody tried to stop them from playing, they just kept on doing it.
I love that about any Guardiola team, and I think from a footballing perspective, Barcelona. However, 3 back-to-back Champions Leagues is nothing to be scoffed at.
Oh no, it's still amazing what he did, and like I said, like corralling all of that into one, all of those different personalities and corralling it into one team that actually works. There's a lot to be said for that.
I think for Guardiola though, his Barcelona will be remembered fondly more for him because he's gone on to do similar things at Bayern and Man City. If Zidane goes into a new job, completely fails, people will be like, was it actually him at Real Madrid? Or was it just Ronaldo, or were they lucky? So Guardiola's got the backup from experience elsewhere, whereas Zidane doesn't. Could have been a one-hit wonder.
Okay, one for you from J Watts 96.
Yes.
What team does Paddy support?
Paddy supports here in.
Oh, I didn't know we could reveal that, but there you go.
Oh, well, there you know. Now get all of your abuse for Paddy. He'll be back next Friday.
Also, Matt, how do you feel about Sol Campbell?
Oh, that's a great place to end the show. Talking of Sol Campbell, we don't want to talk about him.
You don't want to talk about Sol?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
I want to give any airtime to that man who left Arsenal for Spurs. Left Spurs for Arsenal, even.
Left Spurs for Arsenal.
Yeah. Disgraceful human. But good luck at Macclesfield to him.
He's doing okay there.
He's doing okay.
Yeah.
But aside from that, don't want to talk about him, so it's a great place to end. But that is all from me and Ian for today. Thank you so much for sending in all your questions. And of course, throughout the week in all our daily news shows, you can leave your questions down below. Just make sure you hashtag Q&A on it as well, so we know to throw them in for next Friday's episode, where, as I said, Paddy will be back. That's no disservice to your job this week, but thanks for joining me. So let us know in the comments section all of your thoughts on today's show, and you can also respond to all of the questions that we've thrown about. But from me and Ian, that's all for today, so thanks for watching.